Members, yesterday I undertook to give a considered ruling on the reading of speeches in debate. This topic has been the subject of numerous speakers' rulings and standing orders, committee discussions over many years. The explicit prohibition on reading speeches was removed from the standing orders in 1995. In 2011, wishing to enliven debate, the Standing Orders Committee recommended reinstating the ban on reading speeches as a convention rather than a rule. The convention is that where possible, members should not read speeches. Debate is best served by members engaging with points brought up in other speeches, and some level of improvisation is needed to respond to other members' speeches. There are circumstances in which reading a speech may be acceptable. Such circumstances may relate to the technical nature of the material under discussion, or a minister's first reading speech, or a speaker giving a ruling, a maiden speech, or perhaps even a valedictory. General debates, however, should not necessitate members to read a speech unless it is something of particular technical in its nature, as the speech is covered in the speech. All members are entitled to refer to notes, and some members may rely more heavily on them than others. The key thing is that members are giving their own speeches rather than the remarks prepared for them. In any case, no member other than the Speaker may interrupt a member who is speaking to mention a breach of this convention. And I refer members and reiterate Speaker's rulings 526, 527 and 523. I've also received a letter from Chlöe Swarbrick seeking to debate under Standing Order 399 the recent attacks on people in Lebanon and the implication for this for stability in the Middle East. Urgent debates are a way of holding the government to account for its actions. There must be administrative or ministerial responsibility for the case of recent occurrence. A member has not disclosed any such responsibility, therefore the application is declined. Point of order, the Honourable Gerry McNulty.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I apologise for the slight delay in this. Thank you for that ruling. We support that. There's just one question I have about that, and that's regards to the reference to ministers' first reading speeches. From memory, the Standing Orders Committee agreed that the introduction of legislative statements were in part to prevent the need for ministers to read a speech.
You're actually quite right, and that should have been the way it was put in that. I'll have that, with the indulgence of the House, have that corrected in the ruling. But that was the purpose of those statements. It's quite right. Thank you for that. Point of order, the right on Winston.
Mr Speaker, the time for Mr McNulty to raise that was at the time it was being discussed. And since then you'd moved on with the business of the House, and we cannot go back to it in that way. I would have thought, with respect, that you'd ruled him out.
But that is actually what the point of order process is about, is bringing up matters that are to do with the order of the House, and that definitely was a matter to do with the order of the House. Well, it's too late. I'll tell you what, none of us are as fast as you. You've pointed that out to me. You pointed that out to me many times. And I understand you'd still give me 20 metres and 100 yards and expect to beat me. So in this case, we are now moving on.